Alright, it's 12:46. We're gonna see how fast we can do this. Hell yeah. Alright, here's my river shoe. It happened to the other one, and we glued it, and the other one's bomber. We actually have a hole right here, so let's check out the other one. Alright, and besides kind of the top material coming off, you know what I mean, the suede is perfect. So these are Nike, who cares, and then, but they work so good. You know, they're like 45 bucks. Maybe they're more, maybe they're like 55. But hell yeah, perfect river shoe. Size 14, you know. Alright, so we need a respirator. And then in the freezer is our glue. So it just kind of lives in that back corner. No, there it is. There it is. There's our glue. Booyah. Aquaseal. Alright, I'm going to boil some water. Alright, so we got that in there. Got our water filling. Booyah. Alright, hell yeah. Alright, we got our workspace. And then right here lives kind of some secret stuff. Especially with adhesives. So rice, hell yeah, we're going to recycle. And so we're going to fill the shoe with rice because that'll push out, you know, you don't want glue going in and then like, ugh. Alright, hell yeah. So, and then we'll just get that all the way to the front. Booyah. Alright, I'm going to jam that in deep and then fill it with claws so it actually puts some pressure down in there. Alright, hell yeah. And now it's always good to think about what you're going to do. So we're going to take other cloths and then we're going to wrap, you know what I mean, and then we're going to tape the heck out of it. And so that's going to be good. One time I just took it and took it into a big towel. That would also work. You know, if you have extra ace bandages, you know, just to continuously wrap. So maybe we'll do that too. Maybe that's a better idea. Or even just get strips of material. We'll see what we do. We don't want to go too crazy. Hell yeah. Alright, so we're 10 minutes in. That is boiling. And we're going to dump it in there. Booyah. Alright, hell yeah. Watched a video. Kind of wasted some time. So that should be thoroughly hot. Hell yeah. Let's use it. Alright, hell yeah. We got our setup. And I'm going to do this fast as because it's smelly as. Alright, we're going to cut a little strip. Hell yeah. Alright, so that'll go right over there. Alright. Hell yeah. Alright, respirator on. Oh, boy. Go for it. Whatevs.
Oh, see, there's something hard in there, you know what I mean? So you kind of have to push it back and forth. Oh, gross, dude. hell yeah. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Oh. Okay. Think we did it. Check this out. Yeah, I mean I can't use. I can use this for a wound as long as you know, it doesn't have. As long as you cover your wound with clean gauze, you know, this just provides tension. Hell yeah. All right, hell yeah. Alright, hell yeah. Done. But we do have to clean this up, you know what I mean? And we kind of got this stuff everywhere. So I'm going to get some, alright. And I usually clean this with alcohol, but I just could care less. We're almost down to about nothing left. But what we do is we just come in here with a lot. And at some point I actually put some pipe threading on there. But even this, we're going to try to get in there. Just get that glue out. But yeah, this stuff is awful to breathe. I need to get the hell out of here. Alright, good enough. Yeah, I had to put pipe thread on there. This hardly holds a seal. We'll wrap it in plastic bag again. And then we'll throw it in the freezer. Booyah.
Alright, hell yeah. Did that take 30 minutes? Booyah. Alright, hell yeah. It's the next day. So let's unwrap this. Alright, hell yeah. So we had this, you know what I mean? That made it nice and tight. Alright, the next layer. Alright, booyah. So this stuff's pretty stuck on there. We'll see if our patch even, you know what I mean, will unstick. Oof. Alright, so now we're just removing shoe. So let's start cutting. Hell yeah, the whole idea was to add more material, not, you know, remove it all, so hell yeah. Alright, so there's our patch in there, and that glue went right through both layers. see if we can get this off the bottom. Hell yeah. Alright, I really don't want to remove too much because this is kind of well protected. And I guess I just don't care that it looks like that. Hell yeah. Alright, here we go. We'll trim it up just a touch. But yeah, I think we're good. Alright. And then we're going to remove all of these. And then there's rice in here, so we're going to resave the rice. I guess I expected that. Alright, hell yeah. And then hopefully that made that toe box, you know what I mean, still pretty open. Alright, hell yeah. I've stopped caring, you know what I mean? So when I do stuff like this, it just goes everywhere. Because I just don't care no more. You know what I mean? It's kind of a bad habit when you're just like, you know, well, it's kind of the character too. Like Dex doesn't care at all, man. It's just like 90%. If you can get C's, you get degrees. You know what I mean? So hell yeah. And that was better than a C plus. Oop. D plus. All right. Hell yeah. I don't know. That's a kind of a habit that sometimes this stuff saves your life where you're just like, I just could care less. You know what I mean? I'm going to sweep in 2 weeks anyway. So, alright. Hell yeah. And, ooh, our toe box. It feels ruined. You know what I mean? It feels like there's no room, but I don't know what to compare it to. It feels fine. Yep. No, it feels, there's nothing jabbed in, so I think it's the original toe box. It's just kind of interesting. This stuff is a little gooey. It's not very gooey. We loaded it up. Alright, so there's the repair. That's what I expected it was going to look like. But I mean, mainly I just want functionality. I don't want this to tear up, and I don't want to spend another 60 bucks or 80 or whatever for a pair of shoes. So hell yeah, we did good, but we removed that just a little bit. So hopefully that don't make no hole. But it was just this big flapper, man. And so hopefully we'll get another, you know, year out of this before we have to glue it again. But you know what I mean, stuff like that. That'll unglue itself in the next 2 or 3 times. All right, hell yeah, we did it. Thanks for joining me. Booyah. Hell yeah.